Hey, this is Dan here from Rune Silk, and I'm joined by one other, and that's none other than Damo for show. And this is the Beard Mail podcast. So sit back, listen, and enjoy.
We are here recording a podcast. It is the Beard Mail. Dan is vibing. If you can't see what Dan's doing right now, watch us on YouTube. If you just listen on Spotify, hello everybody. It is the Beard Mail podcast. Hello, Dan.
How's it going? How's it going, buddy?
It's going good, mate. It's going good. I'm going to put some little bit of background music on so we sound like really cool in the background. Why don't you tell people what we're going to talk about today so we get a hook in early and people are like, yes, I want to listen to this.
So thank you for tuning in. Today's podcast is all about free. It is a free podcast. You don't have to pay for this podcast. Well, you don't have to pay for any of the podcasts. But today we're talking about free. What can you get for free? Where can you get for free? How can you live for free? So a quick introduction. I've just started reading a book by Deepak Taylor. It's called How to Live for Free. And already I'm hooked. Absolutely loving it. So I came across it by pure accident. When I say accident, I did a free sample campaign and it went almost micro viral. And what happened is someone had posted my promotion on latestfreestuff.co.uk. And this was around about the April Fools. I was doing an April Fools promo. Everyone that fell for my promo, I actually messaged them and said, look, here's a £5 voucher. I feel bad that you fell for my free butter giveaway. And someone decided to post it on another website, and I refreshed. I was just about to process some orders on the Royal Mail site, and there was about 180 orders for free samples, and I was like, "Oh God, what's happened here?" Oh. Yeah, and to be honest, like I started processing loads of it, but then I just got really angry and was like, "No, just delete," because it was like Jane, Brenda, Janice, Katie, Karen, Stacey, and I was like, even if some of you know someone with a beard, I'm not. You've literally just come onto my website just to get free stuff. Like, literally, you don't know. There's no way you're going to come back and buy anything later on. So, I think I did about 50 of them, and then I was like, enough is enough. However, it got me thinking, what is this website? And I went onto this website and I was like, ooh, you can actually get free stuff.
Dan, I have to pull you up on a few things there. A, who are them noisy people in your house? There's noise going on. There's noise going on in the background. And I'm trying to make this all ASMR really sexy and nice to listen to. And you got people screaming. Who is that? What's going on?
It's the people that share the building. They've just left for the evening. They're usually quite noisy when they leave, but I think they're quite safe to say that they've now gone home and we've got the stage to ourselves. So apologies for that.
The other folk have left the building. Right, my next question is, did you say this book was by Deepak Shakura? What's that Deepak Shakura? Is it him or someone related to him?
No, it's Deepak Taylor. It's a guy from, I think he's Fijian, living in London. He's about 30 odd years old. It's about as much research.
Who's the person I was thinking of? Is it
You're thinking of Deepak Shakur, which is isn't it
Chopra?
There is another Deepak Chopra, who's like the guy who does all the podcasts and all the really like cool stuff. But
no, that's us. We're the podcast. Right, that's one thing I pulled you up on. Two things I pulled you up on. The third thing I need to pull you up on. Hang on a minute. You're saying about you sent everybody a £5 voucher for Rune Silk who fell for your April Fool thing. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah. So where's mine? Because I'm sure I fell for that. I didn't get no free £5 voucher.
I don't think you fell for it.
Well, have you just put me in a spam box or what? Seriously, I fell for all of it.
No. You had to DM me. So basically, I posted on a lot of the Facebook groups like Guardians and Home of the Beardos, and
I'm going to check.
I put it in DBFC as well. And it said
you
first 10 people. Yeah, man. First people in my inbox to slide into my DMs wins a free beard butter.
I remember seeing that.
You didn't.
But then what? You gave him a £5 voucher instead?
Yes. So it said, April Fools, sorry, but I feel bad that you fell for it, but here's a £5 voucher. So, but most people it was fine. Like, I didn't mind. Like, quite a lot. I actually said to people were like, whatever. You got me. And I was like, no, the code works. Like, just go and get a comb and a beard oil if you want, like a sample. Like, the code is genuine. Go save a £5. Someone bought some sunnies, someone bought a sample set. Most people just went and put a couple of samples in their basket. I thought I'd try it, see how it goes. I guarantee 90% of people aren't going to come back, but hey, it was
Well,
fun.
I would like to just say, if you have actually got Brenda and Jane and Stacey and all them ladies that have been getting beard oil, I do know that ladies like to use beard oil on their hair, top and bottom. And you know, I think it's going to be a thing. I think it's going to be the next big thing. I think we're going to have a wave of the tunes are perking up. I think we're going to have a wave of ladies buying beard oil for their private areas. Anyway, this is supposed to be a podcast about free stuff. And so far, we've just talked about how great Rune Silk is and their marketing plans on April Fool's Day. I would just like to say, before we talk about free stuff, I've just gone through the messages, right, to check and see whether I did fall for this. And all I've got in here from the 1st of April is Kishu Wishin Naki Kani Naki, which is from
Paddy for show.
Which was about Paddy, because he's the only person that listened to the podcast and found out the secret thing about the Kishiwaka Naka Naka Naki. So if you don't know what that
which was actually
you missed out.
don't listen to it, yeah, with the Guniko Yaisamaki.
So let's go back, Dan, and let's talk about free stuff. So
Free stuff.
I only have, this was your idea for the podcast, right? I have one story to tell about free stuff. So do you want me to go first or last?
No. I've got, because I've to be honest, that's it. No, I've got loads of stuff to talk about. So no, I would love to know what. But the thing is, when you think about it, actually, there might be some kind of really cool stuff that you didn't realize that you might have got for free. So tell me a really cool story about free stuff.
Well, I have one story, and then I want to learn all about it, because let's not beat around the bush. Times are hard for a lot of people right now. Like, costs are going up and stuff is happening. So, and I love a bit of free stuff. The only story I have about free stuff is I discovered a book, and I couldn't tell you the authors, and I couldn't tell you the people in the book, and I couldn't tell you much about it because it was years ago, other than these two gentlemen started at Land's End in the nude with nothing, and they travelled to John O'Groats, Thurso, at the top of Scotland, without spending a penny, and they started in the nude, right? They might have had pants on, I'm sure they were nude. And basically, they just went on this journey of gratefulness and chivalry from people, and people looked after them. People they found one welly, so one guy put a welly on for a little bit of the journey, and then they stopped and somebody lent them some pants, or somebody gave them a pair of trainers, or whatever it was. I haven't read the book. I just remember thinking that's amazing, because I at the time was packing all my stuff and getting ready to do that journey on my bike, the other way around. And I just thought how crazy that is. All the stuff I'm packing that I need that's essential. And these guys are literally started with nothing and just did it and just got free stuff all the way. So getting free stuff is an art. You do see actually on the social medias and that, people do a lot of trading, don't they? They start off with a paperclip and then they go and swap it.
Massive story. He ended up with a yacht.
Yeah, get in.
Paperclip to a yacht.
That's all I know, Dan. So over to you for the next 22 minutes.
So no, this is the thing. So before we do start, I have to say that a lot of the stuff that I am going to talk about is from Deepak Taylor's book, How to Live for Free. So I can't take any of the credit for this. It's a book that I read and I just wanted to share. You can get a free copy of this book, so it is only fair that I give Deepak Taylor a shout out on this podcast. If you go to latestfreestuff.co.uk, you can download his ebook on Kindle for free. That's exactly what I did. So even your journey to living free is free. I'm about halfway through the book.
Has this geezer got in your DMs and said, mate, can you promote my stuff on your podcast? And he's giving you loads of money that I don't know about? Because that was a massive plug. Like, we should be charging for that.
No, because it's all free. It's all free. However, he did take his idea to Dragon's Den, and they didn't back him, and now he's worth like millions of pounds just from free stuff. So so I have actioned some of this stuff that's in the book, but it also shows, because it tells you quite a lot of stuff that you can do for free. So it's not necessarily just what you can get, but it's what you can do, what you can learn, what you can gain from being free. And it basically, you have to set yourself a goal. So I've tried to set myself the first goal in it, and that's to try and eat out for free at least a few times a month. I'm not going to go plums in and do, because there was one lady who her target was, I want to eat out free for 3 days a week. So I've set myself a target of eat out at least just a couple of times for free. So I signed up as a mystery shopper. So tick, I've joined as a mystery shopper, and this is really cool. So my first assignment, which I'm looking at, is Five Guys.
Don't tell us. You're supposed to it's a secret. You're supposed to be mystery. What are you telling us? What? Scandal.
It's fine. No, because the assignment will be over anyway.
Oh.
But places like Five Guys and Wetherspoons,
A burger restaurant,
other burger restaurants, but there's loads of restaurants and a lot of them at airports. So if you're a traveller and you go to an airport, whether it's airside or landside, you can actually get restaurants. So you can get paid to go and eat, plus reimbursed for what you eat. So there was one I saw that was £15 paid and then £30 reimbursement. So you can go and have a juicy steak and a pint for free. And
that was an ASMR moment. Steak and a pint.
For negative £15 technically. Another one, yeah, I will sign you up. Another one is that you can go to there's quite a few where you can go into certain bookmakers and place a bet and you get your money back. And so that's quite fun. So I'm going to start on this because technically I think the way it works is that the more you do, the more points you get, and then you start getting cool stuff. So I mean, like there's a story of one woman who gets free flights. There's a story of one woman who she got a holiday to like Barbados or something because she's so renowned at doing this stuff. Some of it might be just literally actual mystery shopping, so phoning up and getting a quote from somewhere, and you get paid 15 quid to do so. So that was quite cool. So I've already jumped on that, and I've filled out all my bits and pieces, and I'm going to embark on my first couple. See how that goes. But another really cool story is there's a guy in South America who built an island out of rubbish. So like plastic bottles and stuff like that. The old, the big bottles, bundles loads of plastic bottles together, and he's got this. I can't remember exactly. I'm sure he said it was 25 square meter island that he's built out of plastic bottles, just floating around.
Sorry, is that an island or is that just a really shit raft?
It's a really big raft. It's got a house on it and everything. It's got a house. It's got a waterfall. It's got solar power. It's like proper balling. It's got like, he's even telling a story about how he's going to create aircon from like the way the water pumps up and down through all the air, pushing through air through the tunnels, and add free air conditioning. So there are some really, really not strict people that are really properly involved in this, like serious, and they call it freeganism. They call them freegans.
Oh.
But these are people who actually do not adopt or believe in the use of currency at all. So they don't work, they don't earn, they don't spend. I mean, these are people who will go bin dipping for food. They've got literally a whole like map and rota of when bins are collected and when there's the good stuff, and they can literally live throughout the whole month by going to all the big 5 supermarkets, going into the skips, getting vegetables. And there's even a story of one guy who actually turned it into a charitable thing where he would go and bin dip, get fruits and vegetables which were absolutely fine, turn them into soups and casseroles and feed the homeless. And then that became quite a big thing apparently as well. So he's no longer at the fore of it, but it's now something he did, and it's now it's now huge. I know somebody in Leicester that did something quite similar. And he tells the same story. He said that the best thing I think he found in the bin was a £45 bottle of single malt scotch or whiskey or whatever. I don't know if it's scotch, but it was single malt whiskey. So that's the real extreme. But for one of the biggest tips that they say, or Deepak says, is business networking events in your area. If you live in like a big city like Cambridge or Bristol, London, Birmingham, and probably even where your neck of the woods. I mean, I'm in a village, so we don't have networking events. We have like bowls, which they might have some jam sandwiches or something. So again, that's free, right? So there is an event actually in Cambridge that I used to go to. I don't know if it's happening anymore because I don't work in cybersecurity space anymore, but there used to be a cyber networking event in Cambridge, and it was sponsored every month, and they had the most banging food. It was in a pub, and they'd come out with the ribs and the chicken wings and the salads and the potato salads and the chips, and it was just a whole salmon, and it was amazing, and it was free. All you had to do was go stand there, make conversation with people, maybe have a beer if you wanted to, but you didn't have to. Converse with a load of IT guys and cybersecurity guys, and then just feast, like absolutely feast, because there'd always be loads of food. So big top tip is look for business networking events that are sponsored by someone, because the food's usually gourmet and it's free. So there's so many ways that you can, if you want to, you can go.
That's just free loading, Dan. That's not freeganism. That's just stealing from the hands of people that are trying to actually make business and get on in life. You're rocking up to a business meeting and stealing all their food.
Why not? Like, but it's a networking event. So, but they're usually free. So you can find them on Meetup. You can go on Meetup and find business networking events near you. There's an event in Cambridge called Tech and Beer. If you like tech and you like beer, not only do you get free pizza, you get free beer. Like, it's a free event. And I used to go, and Kent's going to hate me now, because we're obviously, this podcast is going to go viral, and he's going to be like, oh shit. To be they do sell out every month, so I don't mind, and Ken's not going to hate me for this. But again, an event in Cambridge, free of charge, pizza and beer. You do that once a month. So there are ways you could literally eat out. You know, people might say, "Oh, but it costs me time." Fuck off.
Well, I was going to say, actually, if you're going to go and collect loads of plastic bottles and then glue them all together and make a raft to live on, that's going to take a lot of time. But what if, Dan, everybody isn't as amazingly aroused by food as you are, and they're not interested in this concept of yours, which is just basically talked about getting free food? How do you get other stuff that's not just food, Dan?
So there was a chapter or a story where I think it's actually. Sure, it might even be the author Deepak Taylor who did this. Is he sailed for 6 months for free?
What was his name?
Deepak Taylor.
Are you getting paid every time you say his name? That's like the 20th time I've heard him say.
No, but I'm hoping it helps with the SEO. And this is the one, Damo. This is the podcast that explodes, because we're going to put free, and we're going to put free stuff, and we're going to hashtag Deepak Taylor, and I'm going to tag him and everything. And it's going to be massive. And then he's going to sponsor one of our podcasts. And that'll be great. So this is all in the plans. Long tail, Damo. Long tail.
Yeah, and then we'll get Deepak shop as well. Just quickly, Dan, I found that book that I was talking about earlier. So it's called A Free Country, a penniless adventure, the length of Britain, and it looks like they started off in their pants. It's by George Mahood. There you go. The first review on it says it's terrible, so I haven't even read it. So I probably wouldn't recommend that. I would probably recommend you look into Deepak Taylor for free stuff.
So Deepak, if you are listening, info@beardmail.co.uk. If you wouldn't mind just reaching out and maybe just
giving us some free stuff,
some free pizza, that would be great.
No, not free food. We don't want free food. We want free stuff.
Okay, so if you don't want free food,
money? How do I get
if you
free
don't
money?
want free food,
Free money?
Well, again, that's called working.
Hey, Dan, I know we talked about voices, right? And I'm just going to share a tiny little story. I do have a referral code for Paddy Power if you're interested. But I actually got some free money yesterday. On Paddy Power, you can go on there every day and spin this wheel. And it's usually pretty burgling. You end up, you can get like a 10p scratch card. You scratch it and you win 10p. And it's rubbish. There's no point. Last night, I got 5 free spins on this thing, spun it, and I won like 20p or something. I was like, wow, it's 20p real money. Carried on playing. By the end of the night, 40 quid. And then I took the money and run. So I got 40 quid for free last night on Paddy Power. I do have a referral code available in my link tree. Don't gamble.
So there you go. So there are ways of getting free money, but it's the same as if you do sign up to the mystery shopping thing, and you don't have to do the food elements. You can do the ones. There is one where you need to phone up and get a quote, and then essentially you talk to someone and you get an email quote, and you've got to have a phone call with them and record the phone call. And I think it's them testing how their sales process is. So it's organized by the company that you have to phone. So again, is it free money or is that a job? I don't know. The same could be said with any of the mystery shopping stuff. You've got to write a report at the end of the day, right? You've got to file and answer the questions. So is it a job? But it doesn't cost anything, and I think that this is the crazy thing. And I think I'm quite obsessed. I'm becoming quite obsessed with finding how to do stuff at very cost-effective ways. But if you don't want food, one of the things that they say, just as a fun thing, to get you started, and I actually did this, and I apologize to every single artificial grass company in the UK because they're about to send me my fucking lawn's worth of grass. You can get samples of artificial grass, like 30 by 20 centimeters. I don't know what that is, probably about that big, and it's going to do nothing to anything. But I thought I'll try it just as a bit of just to get you kind of going. And the minute that arrives, I'm actually going to drop that in beard mail. I'm going to go, it's definitely not beard mail related, but check out my grass.
I am ahead of the game there, Dan. I used to run a gym in Essex many years ago, and we were looking at getting a new track for the Prowler. And we looked at different sorts of artificial stuff, and I went everywhere, high and sundry, and got loads of free samples sent to me. Sometimes you have to pay for it. Sometimes they do send them free, but if you order enough of them, you could glue them together and make something out of it. We didn't, but I've just remembered something I did genuinely get for free, and I was a little bit skeptical because it was online. Can you guess what it is, Dan?
Darts.
Yeah. So for those of you listening on Spotify, I was just mimicking.
I thought he was doing something else, but
I was just mimicking chalking the tip of a cube or throwing a dart, right? Throwing a dart.
Saturday night activities.
Bobby George style. Yeah, I literally, through Amazon, actually, it was really weird. It was basically looking for people to test a new brand of darts. And I thought I will go for that. And I thought it's got to be a catch because I'm always a bit skeptical, back in the day, trust issues and stuff. Trust no one, they say. And the guy actually sent me £25 on my PayPal, and I'm like, what the hell is this? He's just literally sent me £25. I messaged him and said, I think there's been a mistake. What's this about? And he said, oh no, you applied for the darts thing. You just need to go and buy the darts now off Amazon. We'll send them to you. Because I was like, why didn't you just send them to me? But he obviously wanted to see, I don't know why they do it like that. Long story short.
Verified transaction. It's a verified purchase.
Maybe that's what it was then. So I actually bought the darts. I got the darts. I did him a little review. They were good darts, actually. Did him a little review, and I really was expecting some sort of catch, and I wasn't. Literally, just somebody sent me 25 quid. I bought the darts for 25 quid. I've got the darts still. I did one little review. It didn't take me very long. And there you go. So yeah, I suppose you could get free stuff that way. But that's obviously
tons of ways. Well, absolutely, but there's tons of ways if you're frugal enough. Like, there are other things like, like Free Cycle, for example, and you can find stuff on Facebook for free. There is a chapter in the book about upcycling and stuff like that, about taking stuff from Facebook and Free Cycle, getting sample paints to then and sample wallpaper to decoupage furniture to then list your furniture on Etsy, and therefore you can then make money off the stuff that's free.
I used to work for a wallpaper company as well, Dan. And wallpapering was a big thing back in the day, right? And there was literally shops that were just wallpaper shops. And you could go in and get a sample. And at a time of my life, I did actually do like one whole side of a wall in my room with samples of wallpaper for free. Times were hard. But then they started charging for samples and they stopped doing them because people like you, they take advantage. You know what I mean? They take too much. You're only supposed to have a little bit. And people were taking a lot. But that's just reminded me, you talked about free cycle and upcycle and all that sort of stuff. I could tell you a story that happened only the weekend just gone, where a kid went to a car boot and got a guitar for better than free. Let me tell you a little story about how this came about, right?
Yes, go on, I'm liking this.
I had an horrendous hangover, and I got woken up by the missus at 6 o'clock in the morning. We're doing car boot today, and I'm like, oh God, I forgot about the car boot today. So all the stuff got packed. I said, you'll have to drive. I can't drive because I'm not feeling very well. And we got to the car boot, got all set up. The hawkers came round. You ever done a car boot? As soon as you open that thing, all the proper tradies come in. The PlayStation 3 was gone. I flogged a load of coins for a poxy 30 quid, and I think they were worth about £1,000. But I was in no state to be negotiating. And then a little bit later on, this little kid comes round and he said, how much for that guitar? And I said, it depends. I said, can you play the guitar? And he went, well, I don't know. I said, if you play it and if you love it and if it's a good tune, I'll tell you how much it is. It'll be £1. And he played it and he's rubbish. And I said, you know what? That's going to be £1. And I let him have the guitar and I gave him £1. Confused the shit out of him because he was expecting to pay £1 that he didn't have. And I gave him £1. And that was my altruistic deed for the day. And I don't tell people about my altruistic deeds because I like to do it very humbly and don't even talk about it. So I give him a guitar and I give him £1, genuinely, because I hated this guitar and I had actually acquired it I think I'd got it for free from somewhere. And literally, so it was no skin off my nose, but the kid really wanted it. He liked it. So I let him have it. And then nicely off the back of that, talking about good deeds, his dad then bought my dartboard and he felt compelled to pay full price for the dartboard because I'd just given his kid a free guitar. That's how the world works.
How it works. So that's it. So there are, but when I think a lot of people don't, you don't realize how easy it is to actually get stuff, for free. And there are always, going back to your story about the free country, you see quite a lot of times, don't you? It's like there's those challenges. How far around the world can you get with no money? And it's literally is just asking people, look, I'm trying to do this thing, and can you buy me a ticket and this sort of stuff.
Let me give you a brilliant app then, Dan, because I've used this in the past. There's an app called Warm Showers. And it's you should go and just do this for a day. And I used it once or twice when I was cycling the length of the country. It's basically an app where people who have accommodation or a garden, they can put themselves on the app and say, we will happily put you up for free if you're traveling through, doing a cycle or a run or whatever. And it tends to be parents whose kids have grown up and left and they've got a spare room. But they're not renting out for Airbnb to make money. But for example, the place I stayed at, their son was a cyclist and he was off cycling around the world somewhere. So they wanted to help me as a cyclist doing their little bit. And another one that I stayed with, he was just a keen cyclist and he liked showing other people around the routes where he cycles. So yeah, there's a thing called Warm Showers. It's not just for cyclists, but it's for a lot of people that are traveling through on these sort of things. And I met a girl when I was on the train up to the start of my journey, and she told me about it. She'd just gone all through Europe on her own, cycling through, staying at Warm Showers for no cost. And I was like, wow, that's crazy.
So there you go. So there's your travel accommodation for free. So even accommodation, so living for free, actually having a roof over your head and a shower, they probably even gave them breakfast. So there's one of the meals.
Some of them do. Some people just
bowl cereal or something. Absolutely, but I think that there are ways, and there are people that actually will make it their they live like this. They go and try and find what they can live. So other things that you can do for free, training. You can. This was so going back before I mentioned about the guy who sailed for 6 months. He literally trained himself on YouTube and various other. You get the first module for free or whatever. He did loads of these things where you get the first module for free, learned enough to sail, how to sail, basic sail knowledge of how to sail a boat, then went to, I think there was like a workshop or something that they said, oh, you can come and sail they do these sailing days, and he went sailing with this group, and then he spoke to the captain and said, look, I really enjoyed these days. Could I come and intern or not intern? Probably a bit like interning, I guess. He was like, can I come along on another one and sort of hone my skills? And then there's a website, I can't remember what it's called, but it's a website where you can actually people look for crew. So rich people who've got a yacht who want to go sailing, who they don't know, they can't sail their boat. They got a boat because they got loads of money, but they can't sail it. So there's a website for people who can sail boats. And it usually is food involved and alcohol and probably debauchery and stuff on this boat. And he did something similar. I don't know about the debauchery and the alcohol and stuff, but he sailed for 6 months by using this website of the stuff that he'd learned from being an apprentice and learning on Tinterweb and the YouTubes alike. Cost him nothing.
There are things, if you want to put the time and the effort in as well, there are things you can sort of get sponsors to do, which is a way of doing it free, I suppose. So you look at Sean Conway, who is an endurance athlete now of sort of such, but where he swam the length of Great Britain. He ran it twice, cycled it once or twice, then he decided to swim it. He was going to be the first person to do it. He didn't realise no one had ever done it. This is before that Ross fella did it. And he literally got a credit card, bought a boat off eBay for $5,000, and then he asked other people to help him out. But he got, I think it was something like $10,000 in sponsorship from Speedos. They gave him like 3 wetsuits to wear, and the $10,000 was for fuel and for food for the journey. And then other people sort of advertised to go on the side of his boat and that. So basically, other than that, the initial outlay for the boat, he did the whole thing, and it was funded by the people through sponsorship. So I guess that's kind of free food. That's a little bit different because you've got to put a bit more work in. If you want free stuff for nothing, that's a little bit harder, but it is out there, isn't it?
So absolutely, there's options there for depending on the level of work you want to put in. I even signed up for it was for Adidas. So it's an Adidas Champion or something. I can't remember what it's called, Adidas for the People or something. But there's a website you can register, and you basically lie about all of the fitness activities that you do, because obviously you won't otherwise you won't get anything. Like I'm a proper
run a marathon.
I'm a proper intermediate rock climber and stuff like that. I'm proper doing all of the activities, and apparently I didn't succeed for the footwear, but I was approved for the apparel. So when they've got like a t-shirt that will fit me,
Adidas Dad Bod range,
they might send me a t-shirt. But once that happens, obviously, and I was tempted to document quite a lot of this as well, because I think it would be quite interesting. I mean, obviously other people have done it before, but I don't think anyone's done it with a massive beard, Damo. So we could do this. We could be like the bearded Freegal guys.
We could.
And be really successful and have loads of free stuff, and it'd be amazing. But I just think, for me, I just thought it'd be something to do that might be quite fun. And I'm going to see how this mystery shopping stuff goes. If it's mega, I've just got it. So if I'm going to Belfast or something, and there's like a banging, and there's an assignment that pops up at Belfast Airport, I'm 100% going to go and eat. I'm going to go. Of course, I'm going to go. If there's one that's like £30 recuperation, that's not the word, is it? Reimbursement, and you're going to pay me 15 quid just to tell you how banging that steak was. Like, I'm going to spend 10 minutes writing a report to get that. I might not do the £7.50 to go and place a bet in one of the betting shops, because I'd have to drive to a different town, and it's going to
end up £100 down.
Yeah, it's not really worth it, and it would trigger me and all that.
I tell you, there's another thing you can do, but I guess it's volunteering as such. But I've seen it before, and I've got a mate who does it actually. And you volunteer. Obviously you have to be legit and have a DBS and that, and then have an interest in doing it, but literally taking out kids from a charity, and he goes to watch football games, like takes them to Cov City football. They pay for him and the kid's ticket, and it's an experience for the kid. So I know it's like volunteering, but it's not work, but it is, it's free. Like, you get to go and watch Cov City for free or whatever ground it is.
Free thing.
But
I mean, if you don't have a specific value against your time, then anything can be free. You can volunteer for a festival ticket. A friend of mine just sent me one. We used to have volunteers when I used to work at festivals, and you do a couple of shifts during the event, and maybe one the day before the event starts, and then a few during the event, but you get the rest of the time off. A friend of mine actually has messaged me, just messaged me, telling me probably about it. He wants to go and volunteer for Boomtown, but you do 4 days in the run up to the build in exchange for a ticket. So you've got to do 36 hours of volunteering, and then you get a free ticket, which the event's in August, but they're about 260 quid, I think.
Because
so it works out about £6.85 an hour.
I know we're more in the realms of volunteering now than free stuff, but I volunteered at Wolf Run to be a marshal, and I literally just had a great day of cheering people on, going around the course and running through mud, and they paid me 50 quid. And I'd have done it for free, but they paid 50 quid cash on the day, and I'm like, oh, happy days.
There's a world of free stuff out there, and stuff that you can make money on. I remember when I worked at a festival, and I was there after the festival and during the cleanup, and it was the hottest summer on record for this particular event that always rains at. And at the end of the event, I took home about 40 pairs of unworn wellies.
Nice.
Because everyone takes wellies to festivals, stuck them in auction. It's like, yeah, mate, have all of them. They were like hunters wellies, trespass wellies, like literally. Some of them still had the tags on them, because it was unexpected that it didn't rain at this event. So most people usually rock up pair of trainers, ruin their trainers, move to the flip flops, but obviously not to the flip flops, to the wellies. But this year, no one wore wellies because it was baking hot sunshine. There was absolutely no mud. So people at these types of events, they're come off. I'm never going to wear them.
I bet you've had a few tents as well off the back of that. Surely people leave their
tents, camping chairs,
girlfriends.
Those camping chairs, those camping chairs. So there was one year I took to auction a trailer full of camping stoves, camping chairs, camping beds, tents not so much because tents are a pain in the ass, but a chair, fold it up, bang it in, fold it up, bang it in. I think it was something like 100 chairs and maybe like 30 odd camping stoves, but and the wellies, of course. But yeah, the tents thing is a bit of a pain in the ass because most of the time it's not all there, the bag's not there, so you're kind of resulting in having a tent with pegs and flapping and no bag to put it in. I know that, and there's people that go in there and they you know, apparently take it off to like Oxfam and stuff. But I've seen bulldozers. I've seen the biggest pile of tents you've ever seen in your life, where bulldozers just gone la da 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 da, not going to Oxfam this year, off to landfill.
Straight in the landfill. That's disgusting.
Yep.
Disgusting festival goers.
Sure. But we're not here to that could be another conversation on its own, festivals and stuff.
We're talking about free stuff. Where can I get started, Dan? I literally tomorrow morning I want to wake up and get something for free, not food, right? What shall I do? How do I start? What do I do? Oh, so actually, just hang on, hold that thought, because I just remembered then probably the only free thing I used to get regularly when I was a youth, other than like I'm sure I had free school vouchers for food and that, and Maggie Factory used to give me free milk as well. But apart from that, you could go to the sports centre and say, "Oh, I've lost me goggles," and they get out a massive box of goggles, and they're like, "What ones are they?" Like they were the black Adidas ones. And then they just give you the goggles, and then I'm sure I've had 3 free pairs of goggles in my life.
But that's the thing, and that's I remember. It's crazy as it was. I remember going to a nightclub in London. This was back in the Bagley's days, before all of that got turned into whatever it is, shops and stuff now behind King's Cross. And at the end of the night, where you all got searched on the way in, there was a box, and it was full of like deodorant. Weirdly enough, like because the clubs I used to go to, Bagley's was a sweaty club. Do you know what I mean? People get proper sweaty. So I'm assuming people thought, well, got to take the deodorant to make myself all freshen up, right? So at the end of the night,
this is before they had a guy in the toilet, so it'd do that for you.
Exactly. I mean, probably now what happened is, I reckon some savvy business guy just went, "Hey Dave, that box, can I take it to the toilets?" You know, it's like, yeah, you're cutting me in half, right? So he's just gone, "Yes, we got this box of deodorant and aftershaves." But there would be perfumes and aftershaves in there, because obviously they don't want you to take the aerosol cans or the glass bottles or anything. So, you know, even like full packs of chewing gum and stuff, where they've had to chuck their chewing gum in for whatever reason. But I remember walking out and I was like, I was so drunk. I walked out and I was like, "Oh look, my deodorant's still here." I just walked out with this pack of Brute Aquatonic deodorant, which was banging back in the sort of late 90s. You know, that was like easy £2.95 a can. That, so that was a right.
Yeah, I could just see you walking out of there, just drinking a bottle of Old Spice on the way out, smelling fresh.
Got to get on the train now, guys. But
I did think that story was going to be a lot ruder. I thought you were going to say, "Oh yeah, I came out of this nightclub in London back in the 90s and was getting free hand jobs or something," but different story.
No, sadly, so different era, different person altogether. But I think, you know, there is so much to deep, and I'm only 46% into this book, so I'm interested to see what else there is to do. But if you actually think about it, you know, even just aside from what I've just mentioned, there are so many ways that you can get free stuff. But if you do want to start the journey, Deepak Taylor, honestly, you owe us grand now, like Deepak at least £1,000. Latestfreestuff.co.uk is his website, and you can literally sign up for free trials of cosmetic things. I've signed up for loads of stuff, but the problem is you get hooked. You're like, "Oh, I don't even need suntan lotion," but it's a free one. You know, you can just sign up, and I enter loads of competitions and stuff like that on there. I mean, the postman's hopefully going to hate me when all my free stuff arrives. Missus is going to be like, "Why the hell have we got..." Exactly. My missus is going to be like, "Why the hell have we got 300 square foot of grass of different patches?" I'm like, "Well, patchwork quilt for the garden."
Oh, mate, it looks like there's rivals to Deepak Taylor out there. You said latest free stuff. I've just typed that in, and something else come up called magicfreebiesuk.co.uk.
Yeah.
So,
well, there are loads. There will be loads, because people, they've obviously seen how well, you know, it gets traction, how many people are following it. So more and more people will be like, jump on the bandwagon, and they're just probably all just copying the same stuff as well. Just
to keep Deepak on his toes, I'm going to pitch now that there are also freesamples.org, Cardpool, Craigslist, Smart Source, All You, coupons, the Crazy Coupon Lady, freestuff.com. So Deepak, if you want us to be on your team, mate, you need to start giving back.
Yeah, because we've mentioned about 15 now. So if they could all give us £1 each, then we'll have there's 15 quid right there.
Yeah.
That'll pay for
Deepak Taylor. Awesome. So yeah, latest free stuff is the place to go, and then we're just going to get loads of free stuff, and then we can just talk about it on podcasts. Boom, win-win.
And if you want to become a mystery shopper, I think it's marketforce.co.uk, and then you have to pass like an English test of grammar and stuff, and then they go, congratulations, you can get a load of stuff and bits and pieces. So, but yeah, that is the free podcast.
I'm really sold.
If your back wall isn't covered in grass by the next few podcasts, I'm going to be really upset. So I'm actually going to make a plan then. So obviously probably not this podcast because it's too early. Maybe not even the next podcast because I don't know how long this stuff's going to take to arrive. But there will be a podcast where one of these squares in this frame is going to be filled with grass. Damo's not even, he's just stuck into free stuff. He's like, la 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 la, bye now. I'm going to fill one of these squares with grass. Maybe I'll fill some of these soundproof patches that have got
Dan, you can put your free square of grass on the wall. I'm going to fill my whole room with WD-40, with laundry and dishwasher tablets, with posters, with coins, with sun cream, with honey, with seeds.
Yep.
There is so much stuff on this app from Deepak Taylor.
I signed up for one of the Vogue ones. I'm a Vogue champion, right? And it's asking me questions like, what kind of foundation do you use? I'm like, Lancome, whatever other big high brand names I could find. What kind of lipstick do you wear? This one, that sounds expensive. And then it's like, what gender do you identify as? I was just like, man.
All of them. Dan, there's somebody on the other end of that business, right, that's going down their list of things and like, oh god, there's a Dan, there's a Damien. None of these people are going to buy lipstick in the future.
Yeah, but who knows? No, because one of the people who got my samples tagged me in a post, and he was like, hi guys, just gonna show you this video of all the latest free stuff I've got. I got this beard oil from Rune Silk. I got this massive gourmet box of wickedness. I got this. I got suntan lotion. I'm probably going to give those to like my friends who have got kids. This is a guy in his 30s who has bought suntan lotion for kids, Factor Plus 50. It says Nivea Kids or whatever, and he's like, I'm literally just doing it for the free stuff. Like, I don't even care. This is going to end up in the bin, but I'm going to do it just because it's free.
You do know that guy that you're describing is just you now, don't you?
Yes, absolutely. I have become that guy. You've just said dishwasher tablets. I'm going to go and get dishwasher tablets. I don't even have a dishwasher, but I know someone who does. And I'm like,
give it time.
Hey, check this out.
Give it time, Dan. First, you get the dishwasher tablets, and then the dishwasher will come.
So it's all about manifestation, right? You get the dishwasher tablets before the dishwasher.
And then you need a dishwasher, and then before you know it, Free Cycle will be on your door, Gumtree will be on your door, and you will come across a free dishwasher, and then you'll plug it in, and then you can get rid of the wife. Job done.
Well, the thing is, she's not watching this one. So the thing is, so the way it has to work for me is I have to get the dishwasher tablet, then get the dishwasher for the dishwasher tablet. Then I need the kitchen that fits the dishwasher, so I need a bigger house. So,
yes, it'll all come to fruition.
It would all come because I had a dishwasher. I had to sell it because it was in another house that I was clearing out, and I don't have space for it. So I was like, well, I might as well sell it. It was free dishwasher. Got 75 quid for it. So there's ways of making money.
Free dishwasher. John, we need to cease this podcast so I can go and get free stuff, because everybody else listening is like, just hurry up and shut up so we can go and get some free stuff. We're all going to go and check out Deepak Taylor, and go and get some free stuff.
Just get the book. First off, get the book, How to Live for Free. Go to lateststuff.co.uk, download the book, How to Live for Free, by Deepak Taylor, and then go from there. But let us know what you've got. Like, if you've got some cool stuff, like, just put the comments in the comments bit where you put the comments and stuff. Don't forget to like and stuff as well. But put a comment in there. Tell us what cool stuff you've managed to get for free. Let us know what you've got. Like, did you get the dishwasher tablet and don't even have a dishwasher? We want to know about it.
Did you get the lipstick and don't even have lips? No. We need to go. We need to wrap this up and we need to go, Dan. Say goodbye for now.
Press goodbye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening, guys. Take care.
See you in a bit. Bye for now. Hello, all you people that
The show's caught me blowing my nose.
they were still rolling, Dan.
Tissue.
We're still recording. We're still recording. We need
Cheers,
to
man.
give people a special word so we know who are the hardcore followers that keep listening until after the boring outro that is just too long. What's our special word for this week? Handy Andes. If you type Handy Andes in the comments, we will give you free stuff. I tell you what we'll do.
Something random.
We'll give you some free stuff when we've got some free stuff. So if Dan gets a bit of turf, he'll cut a bit off and send it to you in the post. Yes, I love it. Thanks for listening. Definitely goodbye now. You can definitely turn off. Bye, everyone. Bye.